Welcome to our conference, Beyond Hunger, Real People, Real Solutions. The Center for Hunger-Free Communities seeks solutions to hunger that are based on science and the human experience. It doesn't matter if you are a lawyer or you serve time in prison, whether you live in Section 8 housing or you run a large foundation. It doesn't matter if you currently live in a shelter or on a friend's couch or in your parents' basement. Each of you plays an equal part in the solutions.
My hope is that this conference will create solutions surrounding poverty and hunger across the country.
What does poverty mean? What does poverty look like? What does hunger look like? These are the questions you need to answer for us to educate us so that the people that are doing this work can do it in the right way.
It's the only way we're going to ensure that we address the issues of hunger and we ensure healthy nutrition and access in this country is all of you work with me and those of us in government in partnership.
We all should have access to fresh, affordable food. That helps bring people out of poverty, helps with obesity, and puts dignity back into a household.
I walk down the street and nobody don't know what I'm going through because I always tend to smile and laugh at everything. I'm such a goofy person. But nobody would ever know that I'm gonna move because my mom doesn't have enough money to take care of all three of us. I won't anything so my sisters can eat. It's just what I have to do for my mom and my family.
We don't just need a safety net that picks us up after we've gone splat on the floor. We need that safety net to mean that that never happens.
My mother always was sacrificing food for me and my little brother. I remember one time we was eating hot dogs and noodles and she still ain't eat nothing. And I was crying and she said, "It's okay, son, because you're my future and I need to do whatever it takes to raise you."
The fact that we have over 1 in 5 children living in poverty in this country is unconscionable. So it was so delightful for us to be able to be their host and for them to hit the national stage so forcefully.
There's a lot of people here and we could learn from one another. And some people don't even know the kind of pain that exists, and they would think a little boy or a little girl would never have to endure the kind of things that me and my foster siblings endured, but they have, and it goes on. And so if you're in a position to help, just knowing, maybe you can do something about it.
The number of myths out there are the things to fight. We know what we need to do to eliminate homelessness. We know the supports that need to come together. We know the focus that needs to be at the base of this one. This is one we just need to get it done.
No one should be hungry in the United States of America. Not in this city, not in this state, and not in this country.
There is an incredibly engaged and mostly public-spirited debate that's going on over all of these issues. It's what we're not talking about that's the problem. I find that people want politicians and journalists to simply listen to their stories, to speak to their challenges.
The issue is accountability. They're given trauma-informed training. The issue is accountability.
Why don't we enroll all programs for children? Because if it's not clear already, let's see, if you reduce your nutrition, if you reduce security, if you reduce all these other issues for children, then you're reducing the ability for these children to develop.
When I tried to explain to them that my rent takes my check, they said it didn't matter because of my gross income. That needs to change.
You will be, there's no doubt in my mind, the loudest voices for change and getting answers to some very tough questions. But you need to demand answers for those questions. Again, America was built on the foundation that we solve problems, that we look out for each other, that we are in fact our brothers and sisters keepers. That's what real Americans are about.
When you think of a witness, what do you think of? Someone who's either seen something that has happened or is facing it themselves. What are we talking about? We're talking about hunger. I have faced it and witnessed it. I'm a witness.
The first thing that we were charged with doing was to engage. That this wasn't going to be a conference where we were all going to sit around and listen. that this was going to be a conference where we were going to say, and what are we going to do with it? How are we going to move forward? Then we needed to develop this very much of a working draft call to action.
Promote and support the voices and experiences of those who know hunger and poverty firsthand. To reframe the collective voice on poverty, not only to include food, but also to include housing, to include energy, health, education. Collaborate to create a media campaign to raise the voices of those who experience hunger.
Everywhere we went, we heard the same thing. Simplify eligibility criteria across all safety net programs. This is key. Demand widespread cultural change in the human service sector. Culture of respect, dignity, and high-quality customer service for people seeking help.
We heard all throughout this conference that we got to protect the SNAP program. We got to protect it from Congress. We got to protect it from the Democrats and the Republicans, anybody who wants to cut SNAP. Restructure the safety net programs to allow people to truly transition to self-sufficiency. Engage elected officials who might not agree with us, parentheses, yet, by strategically communicating with both parties. Create a national plan to end hunger in the U.S.
Woo! We're looking forward to having new members across the country. We're looking to become 1,000, 2,000, 5,000 strong, so that finally our legislators will listen, so that corporations will stand up and do the right thing, and so that people in all of our communities will start paying attention to poverty and start wanting to put an end to it.